And we are live and streaming, brother.
Oh shit.
What's up, Matt Vex? How you doing, man?
What it do, man? I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright and shit.
That's what's up. That's what's
Just
up.
got off of work.
What's up, people? How's everybody?
But it's cool because I be making money too.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you did this video, huh?
Yeah, I did this video within 12 hours and shit. I had to do it for a contest that it showed at the beginning of the video. Yeah, my homie Psychonaut right there came up to me like, dude, I need somebody to do a video. Can you do it for me? I was like, how long you got? We only got 12 hours. I was like, what?
I guess.
But yeah, man. Yeah, it came out all right, you know? Like, you could see, it's funny because throughout the whole video, you could see the progression of the day as it starts, like...
It's like, wait a minute. Now it's noon again.
Yeah.
That other scene was the evening.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Time's going backwards. No, that's cool. You got the Union Pacific shit in the back.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that man.
That shot in EPT for sure. Right?
Yeah. So much of my like childhood memories there and shit. Just like living crazy ass little bumming kids and shit, you know, who didn't have a home. Just living under like bridges and tunnels and shit.
That's crazy, man. So speaking of that, you said that you ever since you were 14, you've been kind of like, you know, you were taken from the state and something like that.
Yeah. I was a ward of the state.
Ward of the state.
Meaning that my family couldn't raise me and shit, and the government took custody. And that's what they call that, ward of the state. And so they basically put me in a boot camp. I eventually found a way to break out of there, which is a fucking, you know, I probably shouldn't be saying that, it's a felony, but it's expunged. It's like, you know, that's me as a kid and shit.
Yeah.
It was a crazy life, and like, you know, this was not in El Paso, this was in Central Texas, and, you know, it just molded to, like, you know, the person who I am now and shit, and was then. Yeah, it was a crazy experience, a crazy life, you know, because I didn't have no, like, network, I didn't have a backup, like, I was just a kid in the street, and I had to, you know, rob, I had to steal, and
just to get by and shit.
yeah,
Right?
just,
Well, I mean, that sucks, man. But it seems like you know, you went to a lot of different places, and you've gotten a lot of growth from it and shit like that. And
yeah.
You say you travel a lot.
Yeah, I've been to practically everywhere in the United States with the exception of Florida, because I don't like that place. I don't like people from that place. If you're from Florida, fuck you. You suck. I hate you. No, I'm just playing. No, I know plenty of people from Florida.
Hey,
who are
we
freaking
love
awesome.
Florida. What do you mean? The Floridians, bro.
Yeah.
The Floridians. So it says you actually, you know, throughout your years and all that stuff, you became a member of Earthship Biotecture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
telling me, which is this page right here, which we're checking out. And I guess the concept is here that they make communities, they make these houses out of, you know, just natural materials.
Yeah, natural material as well as taking trash, like our everyday. We have a big issue with trash in our world, from here to every other country that we can think of. I mean, I guess the only people who are really leading in trash reduction is like Germany. But I need to get caught up on that. And regardless of the fact is that, yeah, we take materials that cannot be recycled as well as natural materials, and we use those to also like chill the, you know. So you say exactly what I'm saying right here. You got aluminum cans, which can be recycled, but at the same time, like you know, you could also use them to build stuff. Like you could use trash to build. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, how my life is like,
crazy.
you know. I'm a trashy dude, but at the same time,
Well, it's
am
alchemy.
I really?
It's
I don't know.
alchemy. Well, you know, it's like, you know, and that's cool that you came out of the slums like that, and you're doing something now to help Earth. You know, you
Yeah.
had you know, a tough time with, you know, keeping a fucking residency growing up. So then now you find something like this, a group of people that actually were like, you know, well, fuck it, let's make a residency out of trash. You know,
Yeah,
literally,
it's.
like,
I mean, I guess
it's
that's one of the-
complete alchemy, man. It really is. I mean, it sounds funny. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, but no, I mean, look at the shit that they're doing. Like,
Yeah,
they're
rubber tires. It's our main foundation for a lot of the buildings we use. These buildings are actually phenomenal too because they're insular. They're thermal. There's a word for it. I want to say like thermal reactive. You do not need a heating system for these buildings.
They're self-sustained?
They're self-sustaining every particular way you could think of, and there's different models. So there's some that are less self-sustained. It's just depending on how you want to like build these buildings, because it's also up to you. It's kind of like clay, you know what I mean? Like you can mold these in any way you want as long as you fit like a particular foundation that will make things more comfortable for you.
Look at
But at the
that.
same time, you can just totally, yeah. And this was,
That time lapse is
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. We can build these like in a matter of months.
And you know all these people, right? It says 60 people or so
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
really a big part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you met them where? What city did you meet them or what?
Oh, this was founded out of the great little town, little outlaw town of Taos, New Mexico.
Ah, okay, okay.
Um,
Crazy.
Absolutely insane, very spiritual place. Like a lot of people say like New Mexico, like the land of enchantment. Shit, more like the land of entrapment. Come on vacation, leave on probation and
Shit.
shit. But no, when you go to Taos, like you will actually see what they mean
That is
when they
crazy. Look at
say
that shit.
land of enchantment. Yeah, it's
No, that's awesome, man. And this is giving me an opportunity to kind of get into some other topics that I wanted to get into. It is, it's kind of like a hip hop show. We've been playing it off as, you know what I mean. But at the same time, we do like to give back to the community, do some stuff like this, show off
hmm
that there's some organizations doing good stuff like this, and
right.
but at the same time, you do rap, and you said
I
that.
mean, I'm a big time hip hop head. Everybody that knows me here knows that I'm like full on about like hip hop and shit.
Yeah.
I like to bust flows. I mean, I've written and recorded shit, but it's like lost in the internet. I've since I've left El Paso, I've been like just stuck doing a bunch of crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like I've
Yeah.
been traveling from New York City, Philadelphia to Chicago to L.A. and everywhere in between and shit. Like it's just it's a crazy life. It's been very hard for me to kind of build a foundation on hip hop itself. You know?
Yeah, I gotcha. No, I
Yeah.
mean, and then you're doing other stuff like this to really be active, and it's for in order to have a real strong foundation in hip hop stuff like that, you got to be doing it all the time and really fucking
Yeah.
investing into that.
Yeah,
But
you got to have like a foundation of sorts, like a. I mean, I have my own social network in hip hop and shit. I've been blessed to meet people from all kind of I don't want to say backgrounds, but at the very least, like because of my passion for hip hop, I've been like immediately when I hit New York, when I hit Chicago, when I hit LA, I was like, hey, yo, where are these shows at and shit. And I was been blessed to see some of like when I first showed up to New York, I was blessed to just see Erica Badu free show. Like
yeah,
and they tried to deny me at the door. I was like, all right. I climbed this fucking 2-story fence because it was outside. It was at a park
it
and
was at
shit.
a
Yeah,
oh shit, okay.
yeah. I was like, oh, you're not gonna let me in? Even though I'm willing to fucking pay, I'm willing to do this and that. And then like, yeah, it's because it's full. There's too many people. I was like, all right. Well, I went around side and I just climbed this fucking fence. I was like, nah, I'm gonna see Erica Badu. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she may not be hip hop. She's like neo soul,
Hey,
but
but like that brings up an interesting point here. Like, I did want to say, like, for people like that, like, where you have no one to go to, you have nowhere to do. There's outlets like that in cities where you go to the shows, you fucking meet people, you network, and then all of a sudden you're into doing something, for your community. You got a group of people that you go and you can chill with, and
right.
you know what I mean? It's like that's how you go and you set up a network, for
Yeah.
for those people that they take that huge leap and they go to a new city for a job or something and they
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how to go like fucking meet new people. Just go to the hip hop shows or go to the fucking there's a lot of
Yeah.
motherfucking friendly people with those shows, and
Yeah,
if that's not your taste of music, go for what your taste of music is. But I know I've always loved the music community in general because like as somebody who doesn't know anybody, you go in there and meet people, and it's like people will eventually network with you.
Yeah, and it's great too about like New York because it's like the birthplace of hip hop, the mecca hip hop, hip hop,
Yeah.
hip hop. Do you like
Hip
the
hop.
do you like the hip hop?
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Yeah, hip hop. Anyways, they got a grounded foundation in how it's like helps the community. It's I mean you will find like a lot of the trap music. A lot of people are really upset with trap music these days because they say it doesn't give back to the community. However, one person wants to take it. I don't care. Like it's just music, but at the same time, there was a real fundamental element of hip hop that was community based and that was meant to like
Yeah.
bring up like Latinos and Black people in impoverished communities and shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
And that is shit.
Bring up some
that ish shit,
underground stuff about the
that
government
that ish is still extremely strong and has a
and about
severe backbone
economic
Yeah.
issues. Fucking
particularly in New York
hip hop
City.
is great about hip hop is a great voice for the people that when it comes to hard issues like that. Like it's a great voice for that. and
Yeah.
So going back to like this Earthship, they have I have this kind of still pulled up here because I wanted to talk a little bit more about this structure that they made. So it's self-sustained. There's no there's no need to pay bills at this
There's no
place.
need to pay bills.
There's no like
You so the thing is, you invest in two batteries, and these batteries are powered by solar panels, and so the sun provides you for the energy. If you want to get like a little bit more crazier, you can invest in wind, but that's like, I mean, we've like mapped out the math in this that you only need those two
those
batteries,
two batteries
and
for
they're
the,
like they're car batteries,
and
man.
it'll run the entire structure
They
there.
it will run the entire structure.
The other question though is like property taxes. What do you do about
See,
that?
that's the thing, and that's why I bring it up here in El Paso. We find ourselves in a very unique place where we can build these structures because in certain parts of the country, as horrible as it might sound, because supposedly we're the land of the free, you cannot build these structures because they do not meet building codes that are archaic and just don't make sense anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like these buildings will survive hurricanes, will survive just horrible or like they and the like earthquakes and fires. You know what I mean? They won't.
Well, yeah, cause like like you see some of the old structures from ancient times still up,
Mm.
and that's like, man, like, well, how come we don't just make everything like that where it'll stay up forever? It's like,
Yeah,
it's
well,
a
that's
planned obsolescence to
yeah, and I
like,
mean for me, like that was another great thing about going to New York is talking to people in the Bronx. The At one point in life in the '70s, the Bronx, like, damn, like at least a fourth of the Bronx was burnt down and was destroyed. Like it was a void, an empty void, as well as like Southern Manhattan. Um, and it's just like they just like scooped it all up and rebuilt over again after the like huge deficit. The city was in debt and all kinds of madness. Like New York back in the day was
damn.
madness, but like those structures they just built on top of them, and they're still like to this day are just crumbling. Like they're another 30 years, and they're just like, oh shit. Like when I was living there, like my building was flooding constantly. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
and it was like, um,
No, that's like planned obsolescence, but
yeah,
in a residential level, that's like this.
it's
That's
shit.
despicable, yo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they build your house, so it'll fuck up like in
Yeah,
a few
and
years. You
it's kind
gotta.
of backward too, where like the thing that's kind of horrid about this country that we live in, as great as it may be, and as it allows us to communicate and do these really amazing things that we can't normally do in other countries. Um, as great as all that is, at the same time, like it sucks that we are tied to like building. We cannot separate ourselves from like the governance itself,
Yeah.
like or from like corporations, the corporate
Yeah,
interests.
the corporate interest definitely is what I think gets us. Especially the idea of like having to pay like a property tax on something like
Yeah.
something like this. I don't know if you can even get around that. Do you know
Yeah,
if they
here in El
can or?
Paso, we've already like mulled through a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It depends, like on what do they call them? For lack of better words, I'm really hungry. I just got off work and tired. I'm sorry, everybody. Maybe another day I could come with more clarified, like just like bring the fucking.
Hey, yeah. If they want to research it,
Yeah,
earthship.com.
right.
That's right there. Shit.
Anyways, yeah, like we molded over a bit here and there, and we found out that yeah, El Paso is a place where you can actually build these buildings. As far as they're out, like in certain areas, certain counties and sections of El Paso,
That's cool.
particularly even closer to like Santa Teresa and stuff like that.
It's
Like
on the outskirts.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like you could house people there. Is that what?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can
Eventually,
build it. You can live
eventually
here
the
though.
goal.
They'll leave you alone. Like it's not an issue. Like because there's certain same thing in far east Texas. There's like we have a couple houses out there, but
That's
just certain
interesting.
cities and certain counties, they're just like no, fuck no, you don't meet our building code. Like even though it's a sound structure and it devoids itself of
That's
being tied to an
interesting.
electrical system or even food because the house itself. Another interesting aspect of it, real fast. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, no, no. I'm
Is
sorry.
that it provides its own food.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, before we talk more about that, like what I wanted to kind of like interject with is the fact that like in El Paso, that's it's interesting because there is a lot of like there's a huge homeless community.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to episode 6 with me and DJ Birth Effects, he was talking a little bit about how he had an episode of his show where he was talking to some of the migrant workers, some of the farmers out there, that they have a very difficult time. That they're some of the most low paid people out there. And that
Right, right.
they have a hard time getting residencies, and that going out to these shelters sometimes like
Yeah.
there's
Centros sin
ordinances and
fronteras.
all that stuff. So if we could unite the two communities like that, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, that would
like
be
build
great.
residencies for these types of people where it's like it's a self-sustained environment where they don't necessarily have to worry that much about bills. They just have to put an initial investment into like the batteries and like how you said
Yeah.
like the solar panels and
Yeah, and it's great. Like, it might seem expensive because it's out there. It's like you always expect the things to be kind of like like out there or in the fringe to be like you gotta put in a little more. It's literally it doesn't cost any more than an actual house, you know, like an
A little
actual
house and a little bit
mortgage
of
and
some rough,
yeah, yeah,
some handwork, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that's cool. They had that video, man. The time lapse. That's amazing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
That shit's pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
um,
And it's very simple and easy to build. Like you know, the only aspect that you kind of would probably want to hire somebody is for like the carpentry, and the glass
mm,
work.
interesting.
Um, not even the glass work. I don't know. Just mostly the carpentry. But beyond that, like you know, there's so many variants and types. But yeah, like going back to like the immigrant workers and things like that. Yeah, like I used to volunteer a lot at the Centro Sin Fronteras, right there next to the border.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've had my interactions with the migrant workers and I mean yeah, it's a really it's a tough living and you know we've molded over with a couple of people there. I did about a couple years back. And there was like a push and initiative to try to do something, but the thing is just like funding. The thing was just like cohesion. That place, I mean, it does a lot for the immigrant workers there, but it has to focus primarily on that because um, otherwise, they you know they just might lose because even as of right now, they're struggling. Like they need people to go. Like you know that's it's great. I love that like people in Segundo Barrio and other places go and volunteer and help them clean up because you know there's only so many people that actually run that place. You know what I mean? And it's like a nonprofit. They don't make like a hell. If they do make money, which I don't think they do, it's like nothing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
these are people who are from the community who are just invested in their in helping their own people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just their life's work. You know, and they're content and happy with that. They're not people who are like, I want to make $1 million helping
yeah.
people. It's like, nah, like these are my people and shit. Like, those people are really really great people. And yeah, for the I think I've known him for like 4 or 5 years now.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah. The Marentes and I believe is his last name, and Carlos and I mean, I don't know him that well, but I mean, every time we've kind of like had an interaction, and I basically just met him through the Brown Panthers, the Brown Berets out here in El Paso.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we used to be really close. I've just kind of like been distant because of my work and
Oh, okay, okay.
kind of just getting my life together after you know. Having issues with the legal system.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. But you also mentioned something about food that it's also self-sustaining in terms of food. How does
hmm
that work? Like, that's another reason why I brought it up because if it's a farming community, then they obviously know how to grow food. But if
Yeah.
you can make that your home now, it's just like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's really man, dude. Man, I wish I had like let's
Yeah,
see.
because I was trying to find a video here where it kind of would show something like that, but I don't see
Yeah,
anything
you probably take off the academy part. Maybe you'll find like a smaller, like a 5 minute video. Um,
where they'll
be,
actually show the
yeah,
food
because
part.
the thing has gotten kind
Is
of
it
worldwide
is
in a
it like
sense.
the PVC pipes? You know, like how they put like that, and you grow your own garden
Yeah,
on the side of your fence with a PVC
no,
pipe.
exactly. Yeah, with the exception that it doesn't matter what climate in the world you're in, you can actually do this because it's insulated. It's the way those window panes you see that are like aligned in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're purposely that you only have like windows purposely. You don't have to only have windows, but in that one direction. But the reason there's like this that pane is because it is aligned to true north, and so you can always not true north. I'm sorry. It's aligned towards the sun based on what region you're in,
This
based
window
on true
pane.
north. Yeah, exactly. So it gets the most percentage of sunlight throughout the entire day through that, and then that room, which is like a big elongated room, is kind of sealed off from the rest of the house, and it creates this ecosystem where you could damn near grow anything you want. You know, in the building I was living in Taos, while I was working for these people, was growing banana trees,
Whoa.
pineapple, tomatoes, chili peppers. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Like it's
Damn.
stunning.
You just grow them
Um,
in there, like
yeah, yeah, they grow.
those gardens in here.
Yeah, they actually got particularly famous buildings out there
Oh, let's
that
see. I think
you
they're
could
gonna
see on
kind of
the
show here.
inside. Yeah,
I think they're gonna kind of
I'm just
show
gonna
it.
like
Let's
snoop
see.
through my phone real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check
See
it
if I
out.
can
Check
like.
it out. I wanna see what's going on here. Yeah, we're just trying to keep some interesting content for the listeners. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
shout outs to all the fucking all the people that are watching the live stream. I know that we ain't doing it at the typical time and shit, and I didn't really advertise this one. It's kind of a sneak attack
Yeah, it's all
episode.
good. Huh?
But I mean, yeah, dude, we're gonna
Yeah,
drop
but
this.
you
See
see that
shit
food
comes out
production all year round.
because it creates its own ecosystem,
Yeah,
like that movie Biodome and shit, like
exactly.
Polly
Except
Shore.
except with less stupid and
Squeezing the juice.
yeah, except with less retardation
Right.
and
Oh, there you go. So that's actually one of
smoking
the.
and stuff retarded. Oh yeah, this is one of the buildings and shit. You could actually
That's
rent that
fucking
building out
dope,
and throw
dude.
parties in it. It's actually pretty cool. I actually managed a party there occasionally with a couple of hip hop heads out of Denver.
Oh shit.
Actually, yeah, there's this hip hop group. Let me remember. It's been a while. But there's a hip hop group that came down while I was working for them, and they did like a big old concert and everything. It was fucking amazing. And we were just there, partying, like having a good time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. Yeah, but it's some really trippy stuff. Like it's
Look at
really
that
cool.
shit.
I just like, damn, if we could like kind of, set an example for this here in El Paso. I mean, I don't see it happening in the sense of like, and this is where it gets kind of deep. I don't like cutting too deep sometimes because it tends to bother people. But like, I don't see this happening in like a nationwide thing or in a citywide thing. But at the same time, like if it's something that we could have an example for people to fall back on, just in case like an economic collapse happens or like, you know what I mean? Like, like if I ever had my own house like this, which I do intend to, I best believe there's gonna be a lot of guns in there too, because I mean it's a valuable resource. Like the fact that it's known, because at the same time, like yeah, man, like I'm not saying society will collapse. I'm just saying the probability looks kind of,
Well,
kind of up there.
well, I mean, you do have to you do have to be kind of not necessarily plan for the worst, but what do they
Well,
say?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Don't be scared. Just prepare for the worst.
yeah, like hope for sunshine, but plan for the storm.
Yeah, yeah. The outcasts. Like you can make a picnic, you plan, but you can't predict the rain or whatever. Even though
Yeah.
you can, but at the same time, like I know
Well,
what you're trying to
but
say.
yeah, like hope for sunshine, but plan for the storm. Like,
Yeah,
if it's gonna be crazy, if some shit goes down on some Walking Dead shit, well, it's gonna be nice
Yeah.
to have some stuff like this. But
Right.
it's interesting how you mentioned that it's like they're more resistant towards hurricanes,
Yeah, they are.
tornadoes. They're more resistant towards the type of shit that like the houses that the government are making
You
right
cannot
now.
you
Those will
cannot
just get crumbled in a hurricane.
precisely.
You know.
People cannot shoot through these walls. We've tried.
Really? Because you see, there's like layers of tires.
Yeah,
right?
layers of tire and
cement and
yeah,
and
impounded
Adobe
dirt.
or
Yeah, it's exactly
it's Adobe essentially,
yeah.
right? Like
You
like
could do other shit too. You could do like wood, and
Yeah,
I've seen
man.
people use different techniques. It's just like what people appeal to in their aesthetic. The easiest thing though is Adobe for sure. Like it's
Yeah.
super cool. You could do little designs and shit.
And that
like
shit lasts forever too, man. Like I've been out to what is it? Out in New Mexico at some of the cliffs.
Yeah,
And
and
there's,
the
only
only
still
thing
some of the houses are still up
yeah,
there.
the only thing they really got to do is just like I guess every other 2-3 years, you just got to go over it again, and it's not that
Ah, so
hard. It's just
just
like it's almost
remud it.
just like repainting.
Just
You know what I
remud
mean?
it. Hey, that's interesting. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's cool that you know about that. That you also said you're a bit of a survivalist, which obviously that
yeah.
that's
I've lived out in the woods in California as well as Oregon.
You had
Particularly,
to do like that fucking like you pulled one of them National Geographic shows.
yeah,
and
like I
shit,
drink
or
my
what?
own pee and
you
shit.
had
You
to
know
do
what I
that
mean? I was
bullshit
just
or
like,
what?
hey, bruh, like I'm fucking thirsty and there's no real water out here. I'm just going to take a sip of this pee.
On some
Yeah.
some Waterworld shit, bro. You didn't at least filter it through your shirt or
I'm
something?
just nah, hell no. I just peed in it and I was like, all right. Nah, I was just playing, man. Fuck no, man. We got mad streams out there and shit. If anything, the water out there is 1,000 times healthier than what they got out here in the fucking tap.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, especially looking at Flint, Michigan. And from a study that I recently read is that we got kind of the same issue here. It's just not as apparent, but it's still there's like high levels of lead in our tap water and shit like that.
That's crazy, man. They
Mm-hmm.
put. I wonder why they put like, this
It's-
calcium chloride in this
it's-
bottled water too. They say it's minerals just for
Yeah.
for enhanced flavor.
Yeah, I can't really. I
Isn't
can't
water supposed to be tasteless? So what do you mean enhanced flavor?
Well, that's the thing. It's not tasteless, but I mean, that's well. Or you're saying like, who gives a fuck about taste? It's just water. Like, I just want to hydrate.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
As long as it doesn't taste like shit.
But I don't know if you heard of like, and who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm not an expert on this shit, but I don't know if you heard of like the calcification of the pineal gland.
I have heard of like fluoride and
Yeah,
things
like
along those
fluoride in
lines.
the water,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Like,
I have heard about it. I don't know how much I do believe. My experiences in California have led me to believe that sometimes that shit can get a little like out there. Like people can just be talking out of their ass, but at the same time, I don't deny it. Like,
Well, here's what I've found. Like, there's actual evidence that shows that there is some calcification of the pineal gland in
word,
Alzheimer's patients
no
when
shit.
they die. Obviously they've dissected brains and shit, and they find that there's this calcified layer around the pineal gland on
Wow.
Alzheimer's patients, and they say that it's a natural thing that anyway it'll happen as you grow. And you're gonna get more calcium as an older person than you are as a younger person. But then you have like these conspiracy theorists talking about like like there's fluoride in the water and that like it as you shower and as you drink tap water, it starts to like create somehow it mixes with the chemicals in your body, and it creates this calcified layer, this calcified rock essentially
Yeah.
that covers up your pineal gland.
I could imagine it would
you
kind
know
of like because like I point to like the pineal gland as a pineal gland, my pineal gland.
pineal gland.
I mean like there's like it's kind of like the root of your subconscious in my opinion. Like that's where your dreams come from. You know what I mean? That's where you're like. It's in my like perspective. You know what I mean? It's not facts, but I'm just saying in my perspective. It's almost like your connection to what they call the what's that web of connection, the collective unconscious.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of words for that.
Collective consciousness, whatnot, and like within the calcification of that, I mean, people with Alzheimer's, maybe there's a connection with like everyone else's memories and our own as well. You know what I mean? So once that kind of is blocked off, like you don't have your own memories anymore.
Well, because they say that every 7 years your molecules.
Oh yeah, I do know that because
your molecules are different. So every
Yeah,
7 years,
you become a different person.
Every single cell that is inside your body has now been changed. So every 7 years, you're literally you're different matter. So they say that, well, where's the memory?
Yeah.
Because if you still remember some shit that happened 14 years ago, well, it's not stored in your body then, because obviously the cell is different now. So the memory itself, your memory must be stored somewhere else, like in the ether. Sometimes it's called the akashic records, like you said, the collective unconscious. Morphogenetic field. There's a lot of names for it, but that's interesting because it's almost like it cuts off your like silver cord to that memory.
Yeah.
And so it's like the more more calcified your brain is, obviously, like the more memory loss you have. There's some kind of correlation. There's no causality yet. They can't find out cause and effect yet, but there's some correlations between calcified pineal glands and Alzheimer's.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting, but why I brought it up is because they do also know that when you dissect the pineal gland, that there's rods and cones in it, and there's also what appear to be like cilia, which is, well, rods and cones, you'll find them in eye receptors. They're rods,
I know
rods
what
and
you're talking
cones. I
about.
think rods interpret black and white, and cones interpret color. So you that's how you see. And then cilia is what's used to interpret sound. So that's why they have that term like synesthesia, where it's like you hear color and see.
So that's why
sound
if you were to like chew on a pineal gland, you'd fucking hallucinate for fucking ages and shit.
just chew on a fresh pineal gland.
Yeah.
On some Fear and Lovely shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, but I get down with that. No, but like so. Essentially, what it seems like is like it's. I don't know if you ever heard of Plato's cave.
Oh no.
Like Plato had this metaphor that like
Oh, actually, I have.
Like
actually,
idea.
just recently, and I
That's interesting.
kind of flew over my head actually.
Well, if you ever heard of Idea,
Yeah, the rapper,
the
yeah,
rapper, his
MC.
first album, Firstborn, he talks about Plato's caves. Cubicle. If I grew up in a cubicle, the world, all that shit. Like he has a song about all that, but it's about kind of like I guess what he was saying, or maybe it's just my interpretation of it, but that. It's like you got this third eye in your mind, and it's like it's encaved, and what you're interpreting as this light is actually, the metaphor that Plato would use is that you're in a cave and you're seeing a fire, and you think that fire is true light, but then when you actually break out of the cave, you see the sunlight and you see what light truly is, and so I don't know. I guess like he just made that as like a metaphor, and I studied philosophy and shit like that, and I was wondering like, what the fuck does he mean? But as I started to understand more and more about this, it's kind of like, like, are they talking about the pineal gland? Because it's like your pineal gland is encaved, and you don't see light. You get kind of like, well, what they say is that, when they started to give fluoride to the people in the 1930s in Germany because they were becoming very hostile, the stock market crashed, and I guess they were, rioting across the street, stealing shit, and so I guess someone decided, hey, well, if we put fluoride in the water, they did some tests, and they make people more submissive, more docile is the word that they use.
I can see that, and honestly, like I do think there is
It's like your inner light is repressed.
I do think there's. I think it goes like it's both ways because I think there is like an actual dumbing down of America, and they doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Not it doesn't even have to be in the water, but I do believe there might be some people who do believe in that and they purposely do that, and I also believe it's just people's like laziness and incompetence in our governments that are just like, nah, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck
Yeah.
if the things are rusting? Like it's too expensive to replace them, and they're all just poor people. Who cares? You know what I mean? They're all just like, fuck them. You know, they're
Yeah.
not rich people. They're not white, blue-eyed
Well, you know,
motherfuckers like
it's
you and
funny
me,
too,
or
cause look,
from Saudi Arabia.
this is some great value water, which we all know what great value is. Come on now.
Yeah,
But like, it's funny because
Wally Mark.
they put I don't know if you can read it, calcium chloride, sodium bicarbonate. Um,
You,
Why do they put calcium chloride in the water? So just minerals added for flavoring or taste? I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a fucking chemist, and I'm not claiming that I know all this shit. I'm just bringing up the
it's worth
questions.
looking
It's
into.
worth looking into, exactly. I'm just bringing up the questions so that y'all can look into it and shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because no,
Um,
there has been some serious shit when it, dude, in the '70s, San Francisco, the whole city was laced with fucking LSD because the CIA was like, "Yo, how do we control people's minds? Like, we
they
want to
put it in
learn
a
how to
water
do that."
tap.
And it wasn't the CIA; it was the organization before the CIA that eventually became the CIA. I can't remember the exact name of the organization, but if you look it up, like it is documented fact that this happened, where a a government group went out and was dosing the shit out of people and also put it in like
Hey, well, you know what's funny?
yeah,
If you watch the first Batman Begins,
uh-huh,
they're
with the
they're
scarecrow.
they're kind of blatantly talking about DMT
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
talk about something that has to be inhaled, that it can't be ingested,
right,
and then they go through this whole thing about, vaporizing the water supply.
right.
So
Oh
like
yeah,
they
exactly.
put in the movie, it seems like in Batman
That's a
Begins,
real. That actually has happened in the past too,
you know
where
what I
a
mean?
cult actually tried doing that, but they didn't try to control people's mind. They tried just killing a shit ton of
Well,
people.
yeah, it's like the Scarecrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that. I think the Batman guys or whatever they were pulling from that concept a
yeah.
little bit. I
You
think.
know what's even scarier? That drug that the scarecrow uses actually exists. I know what it is. I don't know if I want to talk about it, but like it fucking exists.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought they were alluding towards like DMT or
It no,
something,
it's
but
not.
it's
This is
like,
like worse than DMT. This is like the
whoa.
antithesis of DMT.
Wow.
DMT will kind of like expand your perception on reality and what reality could
Speaking of the
be.
pineal gland,
Yeah, but there's like an opposite of it, and it's primarily out of Brazil in Southern America, and people like synthesize it to do some heinous shit with it. Some people have even likened it to like DDT, which was a main component out of like Agent Orange and shit. And you know that's the shit that like made people like have like mutations and you know.
well, since we're on the subject
But,
too, like it's funny that we mentioned like people being more docile because like if you need any more evidence about how like fluoride and this how could it make me more submissive and this and that, well, there's this drug I saw. I think I saw it on like National Geographic or some shit. They were talking about like in if you ever go to like Argentina or down in South America at airports, that you got to be very careful because when you're getting down off the airport and shit, that there's this drug called, I think it's called scopolamine, and it's
no,
dust, and
yeah,
they like blow it in your face, and then straight up like they rob you, quote unquote rob you, but really you just give away your shit. They just literally you become super submissive. Like you say
yeah,
yes to anything. You become
yeah.
yes man. Like so they'll like you're going around the corner and they'll blow
That's
some dust in
exactly
your
that's
face.
precisely the drug that I was mentioning.
That's hilarious.
Because it
That's what I
is.
was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, it's scopolamine.
Scopolamine.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's absolutely
they blow
madness.
it in
It's
your
madness.
face, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey man, can I borrow your wallet real quick? Or can I have your wallet?"
And you will be like, yeah.
And yeah, here, and you
Yeah,
just give him your
here
wallet
you go. And
straight
he's
up.
like, hey man, can I borrow like fucking all
And
your
people
money?
have been getting robbed, and like, look it up, man. It's an
people
actual
get
thing.
people get raped, robbed,
And so if you're sitting here
scopolamine,
wondering, like, oh,
scopolamine, whatever,
I'm
it's
not
all
gonna
shit.
fluoride doesn't make me submissive. It's like, yo, like, there's some chemicals out there that'll do some shit that you didn't even know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like hypnosis, like
right.
you were in a different state of mind, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So just be, if you're out in South America, watch out on the airports, man. Wear like a mask or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. I've also always like kind of wondered into this because I personally am like a very critical individual. I criticize everything, and not to say that I hate or just like yeah, I fuck up world because I'm like anarchist or I'm a punk or fuck. It's like no, I'm just like always. But I mean, that's why I'm super critical of the things I love as well. You know what I mean? Super critical of hip hop, super critical of punk rock, metal,
Yeah.
and I'm always just kind of analyzing it and picking apart and finding what I do like and looking at things that I don't like and like maybe. Like I've just changed things for the better for my own self. I don't give a fuck what you want. If you like fucking jacking off a fucking horse to Ramstein, cool, bro. I don't give a
Fucking
shit.
Rammstein. I like how you brought up Rammstein in that sentence, dude.
Yeah.
That was appropriate, actually.
You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck. Like
Fucking Rammstein. You see that Family Values '98 tour?
Nah, man.
He
Nah.
brings out the fucking hose.
Yeah.
And pulls out some guar shit, man.
Yeah.
And
He just starts spraying blood.
Starts spraying fucking, well, it's this soap, but I mean, obviously it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not what he was alluding to.
Right. Right.
But yeah, fucking Rammstein, bro. That reminds me of my childhood a little
Right.
bit. Watching that shit, fucking with the homies, like growing up, we were just like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Like,
Yeah.
fucking Rammstein.
Yeah, man. Bunch of crazy fuckers.
Right.
Anyway, so like me, like, but I also grew up like kind of like on the dirt and the bowels of like society, like, and I wasn't exposed to super healthy shit. I wasn't exposed, so you would imagine me being like really stupid, but at the same time, for whatever reason, it wasn't. I think it has more to do with like your own personal experiences with life. I think they affect you like these chemicals for sure, but I don't think they like. I don't think just because you use toothpaste with fluoride, that I don't think that makes you a dumbass, or I don't think it makes you like what do they call like basic or like zombified. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it doesn't, because I mean I've seen.
Well, if you're aware of it, you can obviously break through that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, if you know that that's happening, well, then you can do stuff like on one of the previous episodes, we were talking about this thing called the Ajna light,
Okay.
Ajna light, and that it's an actual light that it's like a strobe light, but it's arranged in a certain way and design, and it flashes in different patterns,
Right.
and you can actually go on the website, you connect it to your computer, you connect this light to your computer, and there's different sequences and patterns that can invoke different like trips, if you will. And a lot of people say that it actually is very similar to a DMT hallucination off of just a light, a strobe light.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what
And
you're
so,
talking about. I have a book on that
yeah,
actually.
Dennis McKenna brought it up on
Yeah.
the Joe Rogan podcast not too long
Yeah,
ago. And,
yeah. There's like a machine. They call it the dream machine, and they like use it, and they're like sunlight hits it, and then they like press a
Yeah.
button, and it flicks like it just kind of does this weird like spiral, and it supposedly induces an hallucination.
some kind of hallucination.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, see, but what I think is happening is like say you did have a calcified pineal gland. Eventually, because photons are matter and they're entering your eyes.
Light
and
itself
it's
is
literally-
matter and shit.
It's literally being
not matter, but-
interpreted. What's molecular somehow,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It's atomic.
Yeah, yeah.
Photons.
It affects you like
You know what I mean?
sunlight can give you cancer.
It's some kind of matter, I'd like to
Yeah.
believe, but it enters your brain and it does something in your brain. Who's to say that it doesn't break through that calcified layer with enough activity?
Right. I mean, seizures. Like,
You know.
how can it's not matter per se, but it can affect you. Like, that's why people have seizures when flashing lights just like hit them. It affects their brain in a certain way. It's not physical, but it still has like a particular effect that causes
Definitely,
them to lapse.
I'm not advocating to go and try this thing or whatever. But it's interesting to note that
People have.
that they've that they found like how we're talking about causality and correlation,
Yes,
like that they found
exactly.
correlations between light and this kind of thing here, where it's like, it's called your third eye. There's rods and cones in it. What's going on here? And there's
Right.
this whole interpretation of light, and it makes sense because if you think about it, like at the very center of your brain, there's another chemical called melatonin. It's it's a sister chemical of like serotonin, and it directly has to do with lightness and darkness because it's what you do. It's like the sleep chemical. So it
Right.
it interprets lightness and darkness to help you go to sleep.
Right.
And so there's this big correlation between light and the pineal gland, and there's also another correlation between, like how we were saying with the memory too, like, and so that's interesting. Who knows what it means, but it's worth looking into, like we were saying.
Yeah, for sure. Pineal gland and all that.
But-
Also, like, what's that guy? By the way, fuck Alex Jones. Anyways, no, I was thinking of the guy who did all the artwork for Tool.
For Tool, Alex Gray,
Thank you. I was like,
Yeah.
Alex.
definitely.
No.
Not Alex
Alex-
Jones, Alex Gray.
Alex Gray.
Right.
Dude, this guy, man, when I was out in New York City, it was one of the most things I really regretted not going to, because he has a farm out in New York City.
Oh,
and,
man.
and every full moon, he invites like strangers to come hang out with him and party. Like,
Well, they're building a temple out there, man. Now
Yeah,
they're building
it's
that Entheon.
dude, it's like fucking, and some of my friends around the time, they're like, dude, we're gonna go this weekend. I was like, oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And then I ended up doing some other like inner shitty,
Inner shitty shit.
yeah,
Inner
yeah,
shit.
inner shitty shit, and fucking yeah, I mean like, which was great for me at the same time, but. Yeah, I kind of do regret. I mean, but I guess that was my time in California. And here's the thing I had to stress is like, be careful with some of the psychedelic shit because man, I've experienced as one of my like closest homeboys as well because I took him up there with me. His name is Prophet. He's also from El Paso. He's actually he's won many medals here for being like one of the top break dancers in the city.
Oh dang. Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's currently based out of Albuquerque now. And anyways, we had a road trip all the way up there. And like as great as man, I once thought that acid and marijuana and mushrooms will liberate the whole of humanity to a greater consciousness until I went out to California and experienced the people who've been doing this shit for years. And I'm not saying that like it's entirely bad. Actually, I want to say the exact opposite. But at the same time, there's some very dark elements that come out of that culture. Like the easiest one is Charles Manson. Charles Manson was a
definitely.
heavy indicator, someone who took insane amount of acid and insane amount, and he just like fried himself to insanity where he wants to create a race war. He wants to, blacks kill whites and fuck the Beatles because they don't listen to my music.
Right.
And that's why I want to kill everybody.
That fucking
That-
Charles Manson.
yeah,
shit,
dude.
man,
Like,
yeah.
and I
But see,
experienced.
that's the other thing too, man. And like, not gonna lie, like acid, it has its benefits, this and there. But like, there's nothing like the natural shit. You know what I mean? If you can.
Well,
do
yeah,
it.
the orange sunshine shit is gone now. It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of the things are acid. Oh, that was the
Because
one
it's
thing.
manufactured by someone, you don't even know if they made
Here's the
right?
thing.
Like,
Acid isn't what it used to be. This was I was put on in California. I lived in Humboldt, California, with a bunch of marijuana growers and a bunch of other crazy other fuckers. Man, we used to have mushrooms from Thailand and shit like that. Just
the
fucking boom. Oh, anyways, and well, one thing they were putting me on is like, we have acid, but we don't have like Grateful Dead old school like shit that we have, and a lot of it, and they're not going to say that it's lost. I'm sure you can find it, but it's in rarity because there's this new trend out there in psychedelia America, well, I guess if I could call it that. They're called designer drugs, and people will sell you like, yeah, this is fucking pure fucking fucking orange sunshine, bro. You're gonna get so fucking lit. Really, like, because acid is like LSD 25, right? Well, now people are doing shit like LSA 48, LSV 77 612 DR. You know what I mean? Like they're mixing with a chemical compound. This shit will still get you really fucking lit, hallucinating like a motherfucker.
But it's not a
but it's
real
not the
tryptamine.
same. It's not
It's a tryptamine
LSD.
mimicker.
Yeah.
Well, either way, all of those, they're all tryptamine mimickers.
Yeah, but they're
and,
called designer drugs, and
you
people
know.
are like going hard as fuck on this new trend because it's easier to be a chemist these days, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But the thing is, too, is like nothing beats just like good old mushrooms and
yeah,
marijuana,
exactly. That's
'cause,
kind of
like,
why.
yo,
Like,
that's-
I did take a lot of acid when I was
God
in
gave
California.
us that, yo. Like you want to complain about, hey, I didn't ask to be put on this earth. You're just kind of born here. You're just thrown here. Well, so was the weed and so was the mushrooms, man.
Yeah.
All this other shit, man, it was sculpted and manufactured. Yeah, people experiment with it and stuff like that. And maybe I've had my fun here and there, but like, dude,
Yeah.
like, when it comes down to brass taxes, like, I think at the end of the day, the safest and the most when done, of course, in correct setting. The safest two are just the plants, the
Yeah,
the green.
the shit this comes straight out of the fucking earth.
The
You know,
green, the
ayahuasca is like
gold.
one of the.
I mean, I've only ever done the when it comes to the mushrooms too. Like when I was growing up too, it was always the gold ones.
Yeah, that's classic around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're not gonna find like a Meta Mascara until you head up to like.
But then that's how I got into like Terrence McKenna and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It actually got me into a lot of other scientific aspects of that. I got into psychology. I started got my degree in that, and I'm really kind of an advocate for trying to push that and shit. But we're actually kind of cutting into like our time here. I did want to start going into the hip hop de Mayo battle a little bit just to keep on track with the theme of the
What's
show and
going
shit. Like shout outs to all the homies that came out on this Friday and shit.
Oh yeah.
We saw the fucking Il Mascaras performance, man. That shit was dope, man. Shout out to Sol Moreno for hooking up the clans and fucking doing the show there.
Hell yeah.
Space Captains got down, man. That's actually how me and you met, was through the
Yeah,
Space Captains.
the Space
I met
Captains,
you at a
man.
Ruckus show.
Yeah, good homies.
And then Goran and Fat Mac, that I missed the goddamn, I missed that battle, dude. I came in
Yeah.
right as they were battling. I
I
was
missed all the battles,
introducing.
man. I showed up
I
as soon
was
as the music was playing. I was so upset. I was like, "Fuck, bro!" Like,
Well, I mean, I missed. I came right as Gore and Fat Mac were battling, and then I was saying hi to all the homies and shit. And right as soon as I walked in, they finished. I was like, "Fuck."
yeah,
I mean, I saw Gore out there. I was like, "Yo, man, what going on?" He's like, "I just went." I was like, "Fuck."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. But it was a good show, man. Fucking Elon Mascaras did his shit, man. Omni and Charlie S. I saw that battle go down, man. Charlie S. Fuck killed it. Omni
Yeah.
was getting down.
I'm really surprised, man, because Omni, man, I've seen Omni like fucking rap. I have his album. I've seen him get down. I was like I was kind of going for the Omni. I was Omni team. So like,
Oh,
I was like,
dang,
damn, he
crazy,
lost, because everybody said he's lost. Because I don't know if they put it out like the vote. I don't know if I don't think the
Well,
verdict is out.
Charlie S had one track. I think it was like the second track where he was like, he actually had some battle bars in the track.
No shit.
Because it was a sound clash. It wasn't like a battle. Like they weren't
Oh,
freestyle off the
okay,
top. It was
okay.
a sound clash where like
Alright.
Omni played one song.
Oh yeah, I see
Charlie
it now.
S played one
Sound
song.
Clash. No shit.
And basically like Charlie S had a better song for battle.
Right.
I think is what took it. Like as far as who had better songs in general, I don't know, but a better song
Man,
for
if
the
you
battle.
haven't copped Omni's fucking album, dude, I highly
They're
recommend
both
it. That shit's
hot
fucking
MCs,
fire.
man. Fucking
Yeah, Charlie S as well,
drops
too,
it down
man.
for SMS, and I think he's
Yeah.
gonna. I know he does a lot of the features on Lobes Maddox.
Oh, big time. I mean, that's
some
their
of the
whole
stuff
group and shit.
they do the whole thing together and
Yeah.
shit. I guess they're both featuring on each other's shit, right? So
Oh, sick.
yeah, man. But Hip Hop Did My Own shit, that shit got down. Fucking shout outs to all the homies and shit. We're gonna get into a little bit of a freestyle here too, man. I heard you
shit.
get on some off the top fire and
Yeah,
shit.
I've
man.
I've heard some people say that I'm really great, and some people always want to put me on music. Everybody's like, dude, you fucking damn, you get down, motherfucker. Why don't you fucking just do your shit? I'm just like, man, I don't know, dude.
Hey,
I got a lot of
shit.
shit to take care of, and
I'm gonna pull it.
I always love to have fun, man.
Let's see what we got.
I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll just like randomly pop out with a fucking like a little LP or EP and shit. I'm just like, hey, what's up, bitches? You don't see this coming? Oh wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'll never do that. Fuck y'all. I hate y'all. No, I'm just y'all never see me at my best. Wait.
You ain't never gonna see this.
Never. I'll keep it to myself in my closet, just rapping hot fire with a candle. Oh wait. I was playing. Shit, I wish I was good. I don't know, man. Like, it's funny because I've tried writing, man. That's the thing. I've tried writing, but it just doesn't really come to me as much as like freestyling.
Well, I'm gonna pick up this one right here. We got a little short one right here.
Yeah.
Come on. You wanna do like You wanna just go off the top and shit? You wanna do play
care,
topics?
bro.
Should I throw topics at you?
Topics, throw it up. I don't care. Whatever you want.
All right. Rap about that Earth ship.
Oh, yo. Yeah, if you ever felt like you were worthless in this world with nothing to do, I suggest you go to the herb ships for real. Maybe take your girl. You can find a fucking hot spot to kick it out there. Take some shoes, show her the world, cause this is what's going down, son. We motherfucking building a better future for this motherfucking kicking it out here, cause we're tired of these fucking suitors getting all up in our business and taking our fucking shit. I'm tired of it, ready to wreck this shit with my hard ass motherfucking spit.
Psychonaut.
The fucking killer flow, my homie Psychonaut, get down when it comes to this shit. You better know for sure we be rocking all these motherfucking goddamn beats. It's like who gives a fuck about trying to eat when I'm out here trying to motherfucking beat the motherfucking killers. Nah, that's true. I like to sit down with some steaks, some barbecue. That's how I do. Yeah, I motherfucking like to get tattooed. Yeah, I like to get motherfucking shoes that ready to beat in your skull with.
At the
It's cool.
drive-in.
At the drive-in, the old school band from back in the day that I used to listen to when I was out in motherfucking LA to motherfucking Lower Valley. That's where I grew up, son. Yeah, Saragossa and North Loop. That's how we get down, bitch. You don't even know. Well, you best choose to fucking not step to my face unless you want to get put in a cage, treated like a little bitch. Stupid asshole. It's not like I'm gonna arrest you. It's more like I'm gonna test you and put you to the motherfucker.
Miles Davis.
Oh, Miles Davis. Yeah, the amazing. Fuck. All right. Miles Davis. Hold up.
Do it up.
Yo. Miles Davis could put me in a phase where it's I'm kind of losing it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can jump in here.
Yeah. Miles Davis. That's all I want.
Oh shit. Well, shit. If you want to throw topics at me, I
Yeah.
don't know. Let's see what we can do.
All right. All right, I'm gonna do one little quick ass one. Yo.
All right.
Yeah. Best believe I'm be craving the Miles Davis, the motherfucking. I can't do it. I keep alluding to hip hop because that's like. All right, I'm gonna throw topics to you. All right, ready?
All right, let's do
Ready.
it. Let's do it.
Okay, Pepsi.
Yo, Pepsi, I never let these MCs take none of my pennies. Fuck that. Nah, there's a bunch of plenty of motherfuckers, yo. And so I never duck for undercover, yo. I just come up to the surface, yo. It's worthless, but I still find my fucking purpose. And then I fucking show them with the earth shit back like Mad Vex was saying, yo. I'm stay here, I'm crazy, yo. And I grow a gray beard, but I still be here fucking making music, though. See, I still here fucking dropping all the fucking influence flows. I'd be here fucking reaching out to you. So if you wanna go ahead, man, yo, bring out your crew and we still rip them up, yo. I make them listen up, yo. I'm never giving up, yo. I'm always doing this shit, yo. Always rip it up, yo. And it's like this fucking gift that I just have. That's why I rip it up,
Charles
yo. It's
Manson.
just like a grab. So fuck Charles Manson, more like the Maryland. It's embarrassing, yo. Fuck my arrogance. I'm American, but I never do heroin. I'd rather do some psychedelics, yo. My mind's a relic, so I just never be jealous. Cause if I was, well, fuck that. I'd be full of this envy, but I ain't like that.
Adventure
'cause
time.
I'm not from Nevada, get it, envy. What was the last one?
Adventure time.
Adventure time. Yo, AT, yo, my name is crazy, but ART, so add the R up in the middle, yo. I straight belittle any cats with the riddle like I'm the Riddler, but ain't no Batman comic, yo. I'm just a crazy man, yo, and I'm not a comic, but I'm kind of comedic when I start deleting these MCs, yo. Fuck these
West Coast.
Illuminati elitists from the West Coast going all the way to the East, but they be beast and going all the way to British and yo to the motherfucking East, like the middle. Oh shit, I'm just here fucking singing with my fiddle. No shit. I don't know.
Diddle.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So I'm gonna kill it right there. I'm gonna kill the freestyle.
For sure. Every once in a while, you know, we could get down.
Yeah, son.
Getting buck
That was dope.
wild
That was dope,
and
man.
having a
Shit.
little brew with me
Got
and my
down on that
homie
shit.
RX for sure.
Mad Bex and RX here to flex the text. Oh shit. Nah, man, that shit got down, man. Fucking
yeah.
appreciate you for coming out and shit, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Definitely
This
got
was
down
great,
on
dude.
some interesting conversation, man. And hopefully, hopefully that was interesting. Mix it up a little bit for the listeners, you know what I mean? On some hip hop shit, but definitely on some like, helping out the world shit as well.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to shout out also Compose. He, the fight went down yesterday, so we didn't want to have to interfere with all that shit, and we decided it'd be best to just try to do a live stream on another day. So shout out to Compose, man. We're gonna get him on here on another
Glass bottle.
episode. And
Sorry.
fucking y'all gonna catch us with some Mickeys, some Dos Equis, whatever's in the green
Yo,
bottle. Yo,
I
that's
can't
our
believe
favorite.
this shit, man. It's back in the glass bottle, man. Like, oh my god, fucking it.
Hell
It's
yeah,
the way
man.
to do it. It's the only way.
Hey.
I swear, when that shit went plastic, I was like, I ain't touching you for a minute, bitch. You need to get that shit checked. Go to the doctor real quick.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, well, thanks to all the listeners, man. Thanks to everybody watching the pod or listening to the podcast, watching the YouTubes after the
Hell
facts,
yeah.
man. We'll
Peace.
catch y'all on the next one, yo.
Yo, stay up, man. Get your mind right.
Deuces.